How's it going, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be starting a new what if, and this what if is what if Naruto had the rinnegan. We start off with Naruto being born the same as in canon. However, this time, Minato was able to seal the entire Nine Tails within Naruto in exchange for both his and Kushina's life. In the same way as in canon, Kushina would ask Hiruzen to take care of Naruto, and Hiruzen would say he would. As Kushina and Minato pass, he will pick up Naruto and bring him back to his home. A few days pass before Naruto is awake, in the presence of Hiruzen. And the very first thing that Hiruzen notices is Naruto's eyes. Unlike the blue he expected, Naruto seems to have purple eyes, with no appearance of the white of the eye. There were black ripples throughout the entirety of his eye, and Hiruzen was initially shocked, thinking something was wrong with Naruto. However, the shock soon became a different type of shock as he realized what these eyes were. Hiruzen would be at a loss for words, as the rinnegan is something only the Sage of Six Paths possessed, and it was thought to have been a myth. However, here he was looking at Naruto, who had these eyes. This is where a turn in the story happens. Hiruzen, instead of leaving Naruto in a different home, and only paying him rare visits, would decide to truly nurture him and train him for the village's benefit. 3 years would pass and Naruto would know how to do all the things a normal person can do, such as reading and writing, and he is also able to use slight amounts of chakra. Hiruzen from this point onwards would start to train Naruto. He would put him through extremely hard trials that included sparring, chakra control, and knowledge. However, as Hiruzen had promised Kushina, he would take care of him as well, so he was rewarded every time he completed aspects of his training. Naruto was also allowed to go around the town, and at this point the village hadn't found out about him having the Nine Tails sealed within him, and would treat him with a fair amount of respect, as he possesses a legendary dojutsu. Another year would pass and Naruto would continue to amaze Hiruzen. As the Nine Tails sees the similarities between Naruto and the Sage of Six Paths, he decides not to interfere with the seal, and so Naruto's chakra control was greatly above a gaining level, as he can walk up walls and walk on water. Hiruzen has also found out that Naruto has an affinity for all 5 elements. As of age 4, he had only learned the most basic jutsus for each nature of transformation. However, even that was beyond what a 4-year-old should be capable of. Not only this, but his taijutsu skills were far above average, as with the rinnegan he could easily analyze and counter. In this year he would also start to attend the academy. In the academy he would meet Sasuke, and Sasuke would be fairly friendly with Naruto, as Sasuke doesn't know about the Nine Tails, and his parents don't tell him to stay away from Naruto. They would see each other as rivals, even though it was obvious to both of them that Naruto was superior in all fields. By the time Naruto reaches 5, he was allowed to learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu, after Hiruzen deemed both his chakra supply, as well as his control, to be of a high enough standard to safely learn. He would also learn the Uchiha's Fireball Jutsu from Hiruzen as well. The village had also found out about Naruto having the Nine Tails sealed within him from Danzo. However, the village were fairly divided. Some treated him with respect, albeit less than before, but others despised him for everything the Nine Tails had done. This, however, only made Naruto wonder why they disliked him. He didn't particularly care. Naruto would send shadow clones to train whilst he attended school, which was too easy for him. However, he enjoyed training with Sasuke and discussing jutsu with him, and he was also friends with Shikamaru and Choji. At this age, he still helped Hinata to get back to her house. The girls, apart from Hinata, didn't particularly like or dislike Naruto. They knew he was strong, but they felt slightly intimidated by him, as his eyes had been referred to as the greatest by a few villagers. Naruto, around 3 months later, began sending shadow clones to school. As he began feeling his progress slowing down, he asks Hiruzen for a mission, as he's already been sending shadow clones to school, and Hiruzen agreed, deeming Naruto strong enough to take on missions by himself. Of course, for the first few, they were simple D-rank missions. However, Naruto was able to make a breakthrough in these missions. He found the ability to push and pull objects with his eyes, these abilities being known as Almighty Push and the Universal Pull. This happened because of the amount of cats he was trying to capture, and he was trying to find an easier way of doing this. After these 9 months, Naruto had turned 6, and he would still send clones to school, but Hiruzen had allowed him to take on a few low C-rank missions to build up combat experience, as well as the hopes that another ability may show itself. And after just 1 year, it happened. Naruto was on a mission to protect a carriage from bandits. However, what he wasn't expecting was a ninja attack. As Naruto was fending off so many ninjas, and the ninja tried to kill the person in the carriage. However, before the ninja could take his head, a unique ability to Naruto's rinnegan had appeared. Naruto knew he wasn't going to make it in time, but his eyes glowed purple as the world turned to grey. Naruto had paused time. He couldn't affect the people or things paused. However, he could close the distance enough to eliminate the enemy. As he unpaused time, he made quick work of the others. However, he soon collapsed to his knees from exhausting his chakra from pausing time. When he returned from the mission successfully, he told Hiruzen what happened, and from this point forward he trained to find the limits and capabilities of this new ability. He came to the conclusion that he can pause time for himself and others he chooses to do so. However, the more people he unpauses, the more chakra it takes up. He also found his limit to be around 20 seconds by himself and less with more people. Around this time, the Uchiha got killed by Itachi, leaving Sasuke as the sole survivor. This caused Sasuke to sever the relationship with Naruto as friends. Naruto, knowing he couldn't do anything just yet, decided not to make a scene out of it. However, deep down, Naruto did want to help. Naruto would continue with his training while sending clones to school, and would spend most of his time honing his chakra control and rinnegan abilities. Eventually, Naruto, at the age of 10, was allowed by Hiruzen to join the Anbu under his direct orders. Naruto would begin taking on more difficult missions, including A and B rank missions. He continued to train with clones as well, and this accelerated his growth even further. 2 years would pass, and Hiruzen would call Naruto into his office. Hiruzen would tell Naruto the school graduation is happening soon, and so he would like Naruto to join a genin team. Naruto was initially not pleased with this. However, he got used to following Hiruzen's orders, and so he didn't try to reason with him. Naruto would go to the examination room and form 3 shadow clones, which would allow him to graduate. This meant Mizuki, the Chunin teacher, had to convince a different failing student to steal the scroll of sealing. When the village was alerted about this by Hiruzen, Hiruzen directly contacted Naruto and asked him to search for the student, and to take extra care as he believed someone else is behind this. Naruto followed his orders and went to search for the student. This didn't take long, as Naruto's sensory techniques were far greater than most sensory ninja. Naruto was hiding in a tree as Mizuki was talking to the child. He heard Mizuki asking for the scroll, and Naruto knew Mizuki was trying to manipulate this kid. Naruto then jumped down and confronted Mizuki. Mizuki would try to rush at the kid and get the scroll, but Naruto would block him. Mizuki would then tell Naruto about him having a 9-tail sealed within him, and try to catch him off guard. Naruto, however, wouldn't be surprised. This is because he overheard the villagers on some of his Anbu missions. Naruto would then use a metal wire to catch Mizuki's arm. Mizuki would escape by cutting the wire with a kunai. Mizuki and the other teachers don't know that Naruto has been doing missions. However, through this brief encounter, Mizuki would be able to tell that Naruto is very skilled. As their fight begins again, it is clear to see that Mizuki is getting overwhelmed, and Iruka would then arrive to see Naruto fighting Mizuki. Iruka would be shocked as Naruto is overwhelming a Chunin without difficulty. However, what surprises him even more is that Naruto just uses the hand signs of the air bullet jutsu and puts a few holes in Mizuki's arm. Naruto continues the fight, trying to pry answers out of Mizuki. However, he doesn't reveal his motives, and so Naruto is forced to incapacitate him by stopping time and appearing just behind him and knocking him out. The next day, at the academy, the teams get called out. Due to Naruto being the top student, 2 of the teams are different. Iruka calls out Team 8, Hinata, Shino, and Naruto. This leaves Team 7 being Kiba, Sasuke, and Sakura. When Team 8 meets Kurenai, they do their introductions. Naruto's is simple. He says his name and that he wants to be Hokage. Hinata and Shino follow this pattern and have simple introductions as well. Kurenai then instructs them to meet her at the training grounds at noon the next day. And that will be it for this part of What If Naruto had the rinnegan. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.